Hi everyone. Today we'll be talking about driver etiquette. So how you can maintain those 5-star ratings and make sure that you maintain a decent enough rating to stay on the Uber platform. So let's get started. First impressions really do matter in life and in an Uber ride. So dress to impress. Your attire may affect what your rider thinks about you. It is human nature to think that someone who is dressed professionally may be more reliable. Of course, we know that's not always true. So we recommend that you have a smart casual attire and not be too sloppy. Greeting your rider with a smile and a friendly hello can go a very long way. It immediately can cheer them up from the moment that they step in your car. Also, your car smell can also affect your rating. Sometimes you don't realize that your car may smell like cigarettes or food or sometimes even body odor. So we recommend that you use a light air freshener to keep your car smelling fresh and nice. If you are physically capable of doing so, please help out the rider as much as you can. For example, if they look like they're struggling with their shopping bags or luggage, come out and try to help. If you physically cannot help, make an effort. The rider will really appreciate it. If you want to get those 5-star ratings, it is very important that you are sensitive to your rider's needs during, after, even before the ride. So during the ride, before leaving the pickup point, confirm the destination. Ask the rider if he or she has a preferred route. If they don't have a preferred route, make sure you know how to get to the destination. And if you don't know how, then whip out your favorite GPS. We usually recommend Google Maps or Waze. Music and aircon can also affect the rider's experience, so make sure that that's to their liking too. Maybe ask, "Sir, ma'am, is the music and aircon okay?" Sometimes riders also complain drivers can talk too much and that they would rather use the time in the car to rest and relax before and after work. So when they get into the car, I think you will usually get a feel of whether they want to talk or whether they don't want to talk. So be sure not to talk too much. And if you're ever not sure, it's always safer not to talk too much, even though sometimes we understand that some riders might like to have conversations, and then it's okay. Our most 3 common complaints are poor road knowledge, bad attitude, and car smell. So let's start with the first one. Of course, we don't expect you to have all the roads in Singapore clearly mapped out in your brain. If you're ever unsure, use a GPS. As I mentioned before, we recommend Google Maps or Waze. But over time, you should try to familiarize yourself with high-demand areas like the CBD and Orchard Road. Also on Friday and Saturday nights, it gets very busy during Club Street, Duxton Hill, Tanjong Pagar, so it's really important to know those streets too. The second one is bad attitude. Sometimes you actually don't realize that you may be giving off a bad attitude to your riders. To be on the safe side, try to maintain a positive attitude as much as you can, especially when you have a rider in your car. We know it's not easy and often your days are very long, so just try. Besides, if you give off a positive attitude, your riders will probably give you a positive attitude back, and it will be a pleasant experience for both you and the rider. Lastly, car smell is the third most common complaint we get. As I mentioned before, it's really important that you have a light air freshener handy so that you can spray your car or you can put those plug-in air freshener into the aircon as soon as you hear or as soon as you feel like the car smells a little bit. For those who smoke, I think a lot of you don't realize that even though you're not smoking in the car, sometimes when you get back into your car, your breath might still smell like cigarette smoke. So maybe have a packet of mints handy and pop a mint into your mouth after you have a smoke. We know Singapore is very hot and people can get very sweaty. It might not be you, it might also be your rider who gets sweaty. So body odor is also another complaint that we often get about people smelling body odor in the cars. So as I mentioned before, have your air freshener handy. You never know when you might need it. The last thing I would like to talk about is difficult passengers. There's no one perfect solution to deal with difficult passengers, but I would like to give you some guidelines here. Under all circumstances, it's very, very important that you keep your cool. As difficult as it may be, stay calm and do not fight or talk back. The moment you talk back and then the rider talks back and then you get into even a verbal argument, then it becomes a he said, she said situation and it's very difficult to know who's in the wrong. If the rider is very verbally abusive, you may politely ask him to leave the vehicle and inform Uber immediately. If you ever feel physically threatened, make sure to call the police immediately before the situation escalates. In closing, we're here to help you become a 5-star driver. We have lots of ways for you to learn how to become better and how to make your rider's ride a pleasant experience. Stephen and Marcus are 2 of our top drivers and they hold weekly training sessions in our Sinming Partner Support Center. Also, if you have any other questions or clarifications, you can drop by our Sinming Support Center and our support specialist will help you out. Have a good day and Uber on!